Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new summer crockpot recipes video. I love the crockpot in the summertime because you really don't have to heat up the kitchen at all, but you can still get an awesome meal on the table for your family. And they're also great for vacationing when you don't want to spend all of your time cooking, and also if you need to save money from eating out, the crockpot can do it all for you. So today I'm sharing 4 easy recipes that are great for summertime. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, and if you want to see more videos like this, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I also would like to thank ButcherBox for sponsoring today's video, so I'll be sharing more details on that here in a bit, but in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and hop into the first recipe. For this one, I'm making steak tacos, or you can do nachos, which you will see me do as well. So I have about 2 pounds of flat iron steaks that I'm gonna be using. You can also use flank steak if you can't find flat iron. And then to season, I'm gonna pour in some low sodium Dales and then just some taco seasoning. So as far as the steak, that's the extent of my seasoning. But I'm also going to make a Pico de Gallo for topping that I'll share as well. But let's go ahead and get the steak in the crock pot. This will go for 6 hours on high, or you can do low for 8. So as I mentioned earlier, today's video is sponsored by ButcherBox. If you're looking for a high quality meat delivered to your door, you're gonna love this service. I have worked with ButcherBox several times now, and I have not been disappointed yet. Everything comes pre-portioned and frozen at peak freshness, so you don't have to separate the meat and prepare it for the freezer. It's all ready to go straight in when you receive your box. They deliver 100% grass-fed and pasture-raised beef, free-range organic chicken, humanely raised pork that's only fed with vegetarian feed, and wild-caught seafood directly to your doorstep. The average cost comes to less than $6 per meal. With the convenience and the quality of the meat, the price is totally worth it to me. And there's no worries, they're really flexible, so you can cancel at any time or you can change up your delivery frequency. They have 5 boxes to choose from. 4 of them are already curated, and then there's one that's custom where you can choose the meat that you want. And the thing that I love most about ButcherBox is they label their meat packages with exactly where the meat came from, down to the lot number and the farm ID, so you can trust and know exactly where it came from. Right now, ButcherBox is having a flash sale on their barbecue bundle, also known as the 4th of July bundle, where you can get St. Louis ribs, 2 New York strip steaks, 2 pounds of ground beef, and $10 off. So just click that link down below in my description box and it'll take you right to it. And thank you so much to ButcherBox for sponsoring today's video. So while the steaks are going in the crock pot, I'm gonna make a quick and easy Pico de Gallo and also a homemade Southwestern sauce. I wanna go ahead and get these into the refrigerator because the longer they sit, the better. So this pico is bomb on tacos and nachos. So all I put in mine is Roma tomatoes, cucumber, jalapeno, and cilantro. I'm going to use my veggie chopper because it cuts everything to the exact size that I need and it's all uniform. So I'm going to be using that. If you guys are interested in that, I will have it linked down below in my description box. Now I'm just adding in a sprinkle of garlic salt and the juice from half a lime. The Southwestern Sauce recipe that I'm following is really easy. I'll link it down below. It calls for chili powder, cumin, onion powder, and garlic powder, and you'll also need some sour cream, some apple cider vinegar, and the recipe actually calls for ranch dressing, but all I had was the ranch mix, so I'll add in some extra sour cream and milk. But if you already have the ranch dressing, then you can just skip those steps. When our steak is done, we're going to grill the pico in the Southwestern sauce, and that's going to be the topping for our tacos. This is crazy delicious. You have to try it. I actually got the idea from a local Mexican restaurant. Every time I go, I get their nachos and I'll have them grill my veggies in the sauce. It is so, so good. Okay, the next recipe we're going to do is crack chicken. For this, you just need 1 to 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts, depending on how many people you're feeding, some garlic powder, onion powder, ranch mix, and 1 block of cream cheese. And I wanted to show you guys the label that I was talking about on these ButcherBox meat packages. I just think it's the coolest thing ever. You can see that it tells you the farm ID and the lot number where this chicken came from. So now I'm just placing my chicken into my crock pot. I'm sprinkling it with a little ranch mix, some onion powder and garlic powder, and then I'm going to place the whole block of cream cheese right on top. I cook mine on high for 6 hours, or you can do it on low for 8. So now that the timer has went off, I'm just going to shred it up with a fork. It does shred fairly easy because it's so tender from cooking in the crock pot all day. I'm going to add in a little shredded Colby Jack, some bacon bits, and green onion for extra flavor. And then we just served it on brioche buns, but this was a big hit. Okay, our next recipe, I'm making $1 million pasta. I'll have the recipe down below, but you'll need some mozzarella, cream cheese, pasta, I'm using Elbow, some pasta sauce of your choice, sour cream, and ricotta cheese, and you'll also need 1 pound of ground beef. So I'm going to go ahead and brown this up before I start layering my ingredients into the crock pot. So while that's browning, in a separate bowl, I'm going to mix the cream cheese, the sour cream, ricotta, a little minced garlic, some parsley, and I'm just going to combine that all together. So now I'm just following the layering steps listed in the recipe, starting with the sauce first, half the bag of noodles, and then the rest of the sauce on top of the noodles. And once the jar is empty, I just filled it about half full with water, and then I'm going to pour that in. Now I can put in half of my ground beef, all of my ricotta and cream cheese mixture, and the rest of the noodles. This is where I realized the recipe called for 2 jars of pasta sauce and I only had 1. So I made my own really quick out of some tomato sauce, garlic powder, and onion powder. If you have 2 jars of sauce, then just repeat the same process as you did with the first, but I didn't, so I had to do this. So I'm just putting on the rest of the ground beef, and the recipe says to cook it on low for 3 to 4 hours, so that's what I did. She actually used a different kind of pasta in her recipe. I was just using Elbow because that's what I had on hand, and it didn't need to cook quite as long, I don't think, because the pasta seemed to be a bit overdone. So just make a note of that if you use Elbow pasta like I did. In the last 20 minutes, I topped it with some mozzarella and let that melt down. And then to go with it, I just picked up some Texas toast and a salad kit just to keep it really easy. My kids really enjoyed this and they're picky eaters, but this was a big hit with them, so it's kid approved. The last one, I'm gonna take a pork tenderloin and wrap it in bacon. And we actually ran into a ton of blackberries recently. So because of this, my mom has been making some blackberry jam. So I'm gonna pour what's left in this jar on top of that. And then I've got 2 new potatoes back here that I'm gonna cut up and place in there as well. I'll just season those up with salt and pepper. Y'all, this was so delicious. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I knew with bacon involved it couldn't be bad. So it was sweet and savory. Even the potatoes were sweet and savory. So I actually wasn't home when the timer went off, and it was going to be kind of late when I got home. So I just had my mom set it under the broiler for a few minutes so it would caramelize on top, and oh my god, it was so delicious. As I said, I got home kind of late, so I didn't get to see it fresh out of the oven, but it was delicious. The pork was tender. There was all the flavor from the bacon, the sweetness from the blackberries. It's definitely a new favorite. But thank you guys for watching today's video. Don't forget to check out the link for ButcherBox down below. You guys can get an awesome deal right now on the barbecue bundle, and you can save $10 on top of that. So I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.